Believe it or not, I've owned the Vantage about 3 months already, and to me that's absolutely crazy. But I'm gonna go through my ownership experience so far. There's a few annoying little things about it, and then there's a lot to like about it. So we'll start with the annoying, and then I'll give you my favorite things about it. So my first annoyance with the Vantage, it comes from being so tall. And basically anyone else who ever drives the car is shorter than me, and it creates a problem for me. They move the seat forward, I need to move it back before I can even get to the car. And to move the seat, I have the memory position saved for me, but to get the seats to my memory position, you have to push and hold the one. You can't just tap it, have everything move and then get in. You have to hold it and then it moves, and if you let off, it stops. The steering wheel and the seat are so close, I can't get my legs in to sit in the seat to move it, so I have to reach across it, push and hold it while everything moves. The second thing that annoys me has a lot to do with, I think, being used to the 720 and how it works. So in the 720, the shift paddles can get you from neutral and reverse into drive by just pulling the plus shift paddle. And in this, you have to hit the buttons in the center console area. The shift paddles will not get you out of that mode. You have to do it with the button. It's annoying for just the way I'm used to driving. It's not like a huge deal breaker, but I don't understand why they can't hit it into drive for you. As long as you meet the criteria of your foot's on the brake, you're not rolling or something that could hurt the car, it should just go ahead and let you get into drive and take off. Another annoying thing for me is the center screen that, one, it's not visually appealing at all. I get that this car is supposed to stand alone and not be, reliant on those types of things. The lack of options are another thing. There's no Apple CarPlay. There's barely any customizing options whatsoever on this car. It's kind of you take it or leave it type of thing. But even just like sitting here, it looks like an old car. For 2020, the lack of visual appeal that it has is pretty bad. For the things I like, they far outweigh those few annoyances. My all-time favorite thing about this is the sound it makes. The revving's amazing. Even just the sounds inside while driving are some of my favorite from any car I've had. The best stock sounding exhaust I've ever had. It's just absolutely amazing. That V8 rumble with just enough little pops to not be annoying but still be fun, it's perfect. The balance this car has is, like I've said in previous videos, it's a 50-50 balance car, weight front to back, and it is the first car I've had that's that way, I think, and it makes so much more sense to me on why that's such a big deal for cars now that I'm in one and experiencing it. And there's not a ton of windy roads around me, but the turns when I do go from one direction to the next direction, it makes so much sense why that balance is needed, because even in the softest driving suspension mode, the lack of roll and just the feel of control you have over the car and what it's doing at the speed you feel comfortable driving is amazing. Usually the front engine cars like this are really squirrely in the back, whereas this one is really well balanced like those other mid and rear engine cars, and it's just so nice to drive while still getting to enjoy the next thing that's my favorite, which is the amount of room I have to sit in this car. Add on top of that where you sit in the car and how low you are compared to the other parts of the car. This is hands down the best in its class for that I've ever owned, because you feel like you're the right size for this car, whereas every other car, it's kind of obvious that you're too big for the car, but you figured out a way to sit to where the top, it's like wearing a hat. If you've ever worn a hat, how you can't see up above, every other car like this, if I have a hat on or not, that's the feeling you get. If you're the first one in line at a stoplight, you don't get to see without hunching over to see when the light turns green. With how you sit lower in this and look out, you feel like you're the right size person for this car. And that doesn't mean if you're shorter than me, it won't work, because the seat lifts up to where you're always looking at this perspective. One bonus good and bad thing about this, and that is the styling of the car. That's the good. It is one of the most beautiful cars just sitting still that I've ever owned. It's not as crazy aggressive and stuff as other ones, but just sitting there, it looks so nice. The lines on it, everything about it. The bad side is the light gray, which is a staple for Aston Martin. Almost every James Bond car in the movies has been this color, so I get that it's iconic for this brand, but for me, the awe-inspiring that the shape of the car, the beauty that this car really should have with the lines, and they're kind of hidden by the boring silver. So the next thing I'm going to do is wrap it. I have two choices. I can wrap it to be the same color and just make it a color change and pick a color that I like and make the car that color. Or I can do something that I haven't really done before, and that's print a design and make it super custom and special. So let me know on those if you like one, or if you have another idea of a color that's your favorite, definitely put that in the comments as well. Let me know what you think of the car, and if there's anything you want to see on the car, definitely let me know. I'm always open for suggestions and to share this experience with you. It's my favorite part. That's why I do these videos, is I really like sharing my ownership experience with you guys. So I'll see you on the next one.